everyone. You're probably in that spooky kind of feeling around this time of year, only in March, the third month already, which you definitely should be, and not at October, Halloween, when that would make sense, for most people. Okay, but jokes aside, I can understand that horror is like one of those things that lasts around all year. It's not like Christmas where it's very festive, and if you party around it at any other time apart from December, it feels very awkward because it's not Christmas. What are you doing? So I feel like horror is a bit more separated from Halloween, and you can do it whenever you want. But one thing that I feel like should only stay in the domain of Halloween and October is like a mask, like scream masks, like the kinds of one you would see for trick or treat, or like some teenager wearing to scare other people. But in the recent video I found of a lady that was at a kindergarten, apparently she found it funny enough to buy one, and like a pretty, scary one to be honest, and use it to scare all the kids at her school. Which, keep in mind, when I first saw that clip, I thought it would be like some sibling of the other toddler coming in and scaring the kids, as a fun prank. Which, even that would be way too extreme. But for someone that's being paid or took training to teach these kids and take care of them, that's like 10 times worse already just by that. In my opinion, if I was, sick enough to do this kind of prank, I feel like just wearing the mask would be enough. And I still don't know, looking back, I don't know why she picked that one in particular. If you want to scare kids, the dumbest, Casper the Ghost mask would be enough to make them yell like it did in the video. But the fact that she took the extra step of buying that one in particular, that looks pretty graphic to be honest, that's even worse. But even going past that and getting really up close to the kids and yelling a lot, that's insane to me. Just saying a simple boo, that would already be way too much for a kid to handle and make them burst their eyes out crying. But with the way that she got so, up close and intense in her face, it makes it feel like she was robbing the place, and those kids were witnesses to them seeing her, and now she wants to traumatize them so bad that they can never speak again in their life. I get that kids in general are always just scared of anything. You can find hundreds of videos of kids overreacting anything, but there's a small sign, a pretty obvious sign, that a kid's legitimately scared for their life when they're curled up a fetal position, that they don't want to be in that room anymore. And that room being in a kindergarten where their parents brought them to be raised up, safely. And so considering that, you wouldn't be surprised if I told you that 5 of the people involved in this hilarious prank were fired because of it. As well as the place, the kindergarten being shut down as well, which of course makes sense. If 5 people behind it were the main people running the place, you can't really trust it, for that to never happen again, or for the kids to have a good time moving past that. But on the other hand, from what I've read, one of those 5 people wasn't the manager. So that means that the manager that was probably not even there on that day just had to trust these 5 people to run the place, and had to put a bare minimum amount of faith in them to at least keep the kids safe or not make them, scream yelling for their life. As of the moment, they haven't got their license renewed, the kindergarten, but I imagine for a court, it would be quite hard to see that clip and still feel yeah, there's definitely a good place for kids to go to and, be treated safely. But anyways, moving past from that, I still think the people behind it was still really funny, and I'm not laughing with them, more at them, for them to consider this a good idea, or especially when the one person that was recording it. Because from what I've read, the top tier camera guy behind it wasn't part of the prank, but more was so appalled by it that I wanted to capture it on the phone and show it to everyone, which would make sense, even though you consider how cinematic he went, dipping down, trying to get a good angles of the kids being terrified. It really felt like a Jackass reaction clip where they did something, crazy. They want to see everyone's reaction laughing, except, all you see just horrified kids that are so scared they can't even run away. And as you mentioned, that was only a clip. I don't imagine someone doing this kind of prank would do just a random burst during the day. It was most likely meant to be the theme of the class for that one day of the week where it was just scary the entire time until the parents picked them up. And the most bizarre thing that came to my mind after this was, how can you be passionate enough to become a kindergarten teacher where you have to get training to be it and then get a job there, and then out of nowhere also find this really unprofessional prank to do on these kids really funny. That's such a bizarre Venn diagram crossing that you'd feel would never happen, which means that one side is probably weaker than the other, so they probably don't care a lot about the kids, or on the other hand, they felt like the prank was so funny, they felt compelled to do it. That has to be naturally the only option, I feel like. And you know what the worst part for me, apart from the kids getting, traumatized for many years of their life growing up, is that it's not even Halloween. Like, they were so off the mark, it's not even funny. Either that or they were just so late where they actually went over the new year. Because, had it been on Halloween, I would have definitely been on their side, 100%.